Welcome to this 5-5 portal energies transmission. As we're all coming together into this energetic container, I want you to notice what's present for you. Just notice subtly. The numerology for today is 1. And 1 is really symbolic of alignment. It holds the unified field. Can also show up for you in many ways when it's time for you to find divine alignment. Whether that means you're already consciously anchoring that for yourself, or it's your soul and your spirit finding you. So it's going to be difficult for me to prevent any light codes from flowing through me today, even though this is going to be a little bit more of a conscious space. In other words, I won't be going into trance today. I'll probably hear from the High Council of Light and the Akashic Records keepers, but I'm not intentionalizing to utilize the Akashic Records in this space because it feels that right now what we're all feeling is a bit of a liminal energy, or an energy that feels like it's not even real. It's an energy of newness. It's also an energy of what I'm feeling is this. I keep seeing the sword. Especially this last few days and today, the sword. And it feels that the intensity that we're sensing during this alignment in this portal, this 5-5 portal, is truly like the gesture of slicing off anything that does not resonate. It's just like just pretty much anything that we're flagging and we're noticing, that's an identity that I was expressing and totally showing up as, and it's not resonant with me. And there's a whole bunch of people, and there's a whole bunch of story, and there's a whole bunch of my past all riddled up in this arm of me, this branch of me, and we're like slicing it off. So there is definitely, I felt for the month of May, these coming in even before May, these kind of intense energies. It has a brightness that is almost sharp to us in our consciousness as we are right now. It's almost like, whoa, dang, you're going to say that? That's kind of the energy. But how are you all feeling into today's 5-5 portal energies? Are you noticing anything different today as opposed to maybe last month? And then the guides are also presenting, they want you to scan, if you're not driving or operating machinery, and you can do energy work right now for your highest and best good, they want you to scan this time of year last year, so May of 2024. They want you to kind of do a side-by-side in your mind, kind of take 2 little screens and see, feeling positive, beautiful. So kind of see the energy of last May, and they're showing me synonymously the energy of last May with last April. They're kind of showing like an infinity sign. Those two were somehow, and they're showing me it's really similar this year. So it's almost as if this April-May sequence, at least for the next couple of years on Earth, are going to be this, they're kind of showing me the it synonymous with the Lionsgate, 8-8 Lionsgate, they're kind of showing me that this time of year is like prepping us for that Lionsgate. So like if we don't, it can feel really heavy when we're in this time of year that is very revealing and very, hey, look at what's not working. Hey, look at what's been lurking in the shadows. Hey, look at this part of you that you've denied to look at. Hey, look at all this stuff over here that your inner child's been calling you to do that you're just not doing. Hey, look at it. And we are really served in this moment and in this time, in this alignment, to look at anything outside of us that we're identifying as negative and really start to question, like, why? Like, what do I see as negative about this? Like, what am I so rubbed wrong about this? And then once we can identify that, we need to even take it another spiritual step further and go, okay, well, like, what about this is in me? Because it's not an easy truth to face, but whatever we're experiencing in our reality, it can't be there without us witnessing it and observing it in such a frame. So they're kind of showing me like all these different frames and like definitions and expectations even like that we're having outside. They're just like things that we're using outside to see in us. Yeah. And I have to just vulnerably share, like when I was starting to do my self-discovery, I felt similar ways, Jesse. It's shifted. And I'm not saying to you that the people outside of you are going to change. And I'll never say that. It's never going to be about them changing. Ever. Which is like, the ego's like, yuck, no way. I'm not going to believe that. Let's get some cards in here. I also have a sort of guide, ascended master in my consciousness that has been visiting me so constantly. It's very new to me too, at least in a conscious aspect. But Lao Tzu, who was the anchorer and facilitator of the I Ching. This guide has a really beautiful way of assisting you when you're identifying negative energy. It's almost the kind of service you would receive. I'm getting like a wax on, wax off type of vibe. Like this is the kind of spirit adventure you might take with this guide, and you will come back different. Very different. You'll be seeing things very different. Jesse, I'm trying to stop bad habits and level up myself. We identify the bad habits, being careful not to label them necessarily as bad, because we need to understand the root. So if we have a habit that we're labeling as bad, it's important we question within ourselves why. It's also important we go in within ourselves to question what might be healthier, what might serve a similar purpose. They're also showing me too, this is kind of roped in with addiction, which I'm definitely not here to show up and be any kind of guide on. But they're showing me that it's important that anything we're identifying as like we're addicted to this or we need this, it's really important we be really thoroughly honest with ourselves. Hi, Phil. It's be really thoroughly honest with ourselves of like, what do I believe this thing to be bringing me? What do I believe this thing to have that I don't already have? And be honest about it. Because a lot of us the things we'll go to that will be harmful, it's just because we're giving our power away. It's because we're saying, I'm happy because this thing. Or I'm feeling this way because of this thing. And in truth, I'm like burping like crazy, and we're doing some chakra clearing for those of you that are already accessing your Akashic records. It's just kind of a thing that happens when you're in my energetic witnessing lab. I don't know what to call this container. Yeah, because they're showing me that a lot of you are identifying your root. You're identifying the root of whatever it is you're like tackling in life. Tackling is not the right word. You're getting clarity in this area of your life, this branch of your life, this connection point of your life. And they're showing me like as we have these alignments, like we get them it's like 5-5, 6-6, 7-7. Like we have these energetic alignment points throughout the year every year. Nothing new. It's always been happening, always. But they're kind of like what they're showing me is like they're energetic containers. So it kind of keeps things a little orderly. And so today, 5-5, we're kind of opening into this new energy that does feel, of course, very new. It's like we're a seed. So we haven't grown yet. We haven't sprouted yet. We're a seed. So it's what they're showing me is like it's really important at this time to allow yourself to be that seed. Hi, Greg. So allow yourself to be that seed is what they're sharing. Allow yourself to start to question, what might I need to flourish or bloom? What might I need? Is it more hydration? Is it more time in darkness and closed-eyed, in meditation, in rest? They're just showing me it's an important time of the year to really evaluate that for yourself, because we're kind of entering they're showing me Beltane. We're entering like this new, it's like a new, they're showing me if we were to look at the year as a book, we're opening a new chapter of that book. So may the previous chapter like be part of that? Like, yeah. And will the next chapter that comes after also be part of that? Yeah. And they're just like they're showing us to remember that during timeline merging, during convergence, which is really what we're amidst right now, we're going to be better served to really just pay attention to the energetic themes and not the specific relationships or the specific certain decisions, but themes. It's a new way of that coming through. I need to focus on my goals and reduce distractions. It's a good time to check in with your goals and then check to see if those goals are rooting back to a fear or they're rooting back to love. So they're showing me if you have goals that you keep, it's like a goal that you would carry over month to month and it's just never working out. And you keep like trying it and it's never working out. They're showing me that's a goal that's rooted in fear. It's not meant to work out. The goals that are rooted in love will. And there's kind of like nothing we can do to stop them. But we have to get clear on what those goals that are rooted in love are. And be honest with ourselves about the goals we find going into ourselves and realizing, oh, I have this goal. I want a Lamborghini. It's my goal. I want it so bad. I want that Lamborghini. I want it so bad. And you're gripping it and you want that Lamborghini or you want that $100,000 or you want that girlfriend or that boyfriend or that whatever. They're showing me like, remember, like the more you're like you're goleming it, the more you're my preciousing it, the more you're so glued to exactly what it is you have in your mind, the more you're pushing it away. This week I'm focusing on self-love and knowing that I am enough. Thank you, Jordan. So they're kind of showing me like those of you that kind of had some reveals during that little goal channeling. Let me get this, okay. What they're sharing is if you did that work and then you realize, oh shit, all my goals are rooted in fear. And some of you are having that moment. You're like, oh no. And like all these different bridges of you are like collapsing and you're like an island now. They're asking you to like start with the goal of I am worthy. I am enough. My refrigerator's like, ding, ding, ding. Like, go back to that. Like, go back to, I am worthy. I am enough. I love myself. I trust myself. And then just do that trust walk. Like, let the goals that are meant to be there start to arrive. Especially if you feel like washed of goals. I felt washed of goals in 2021. I was like, everything that I thought my life was going to be was like collapsed. It was like gone. I was like, I am nothing. And it kind of felt good to be nothing for a while. I'm not going to lie. I would say it's valuable of our time to get back to that void space, that nothing space, that, I understand all these identities are self-created anyway. My goals are for myself, my family, and my community. It's not about me. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And caveat, they're showing me a lot of you are like really working on the friends or the family or the community or the out there, but you're not doing anything within. And it's a distraction. And then also remember, like with the law of one, service to others is definitely our goal. It's where we're moving towards. It's what the earth is shifting into. But we need to be pouring from full cups. Because the old model, the old paradigm, the old earth, we can say, that's really, we're watching crumble. A lot of that was based in manipulation and overworking us. And to make it a little bit more human, because I'm definitely channeling from like other realms right now. Get back down. Kind of floated off of it. They're just showing me that, remember, like the way that you're going to serve most is like from true I love myself. Where you actually mean it. And where you're so overflowing with love and gratitude and joy and connection that your service is you just being. People really, really enjoy that type of energy. That type of I am fulfilled. I'm in my passion. I'm living out my joy. I'm living out my destiny. I'm living out my dream. I'm doing what I came here to do. That's an energy that is very magnetic and very serving to everyone around you. So they're just kind of showing me it's not bad to have those goals of serving your community, serving your family, and serving, the world, the universe, whatever. We're all one anyway. But they're just kind of showing me an empty canister of water, which is like usually the symbol they have built for me to know that some of the energy coming through is like trying really hard to pour from an empty cup, like trying to squeeze that last little drop you have for others. And I lived in that energy like for many, many years. I'm all right. I'm good. I'm good now. But I have to say that it really did take me understanding like where I was neglecting myself significantly, to the point where like I was guilting myself for taking showers and like 5 minutes away from my kids or any time for myself. It took me washing to nothing to realize all the things that I was doing that were really based in distortion, not of service. And they're just showing me like, remember that service needs to come from within. How is your vessel? How is your mind? How is your frame of mind? How do you feel in your life in general? Are you good there? Do you feel satisfied there? It's time to serve. But if there's any areas that need to be attended to within that sphere that you're not tending to first, it's going to end in leakage. So like having holes in the aura and having some energy leakage. It gets difficult to fill my cup when I constantly have to fill everyone else's. So do you have to fill everyone else's? Are you sure that that's the truth? Do you know that it's always up to each individual soul to fill its own cup? That's sovereignty. And then they're showing me this sign, they give me this image too. They're showing like people kind of like trekking through the desert, like with lots of stuff on their back. And like just, this is very like multidimensional, and probably for those of you that are open to consider that this has to do with more than just life, this life, that energy can carry with you. So it can also carry in the DNA, and it's up to us to recognize, I'm trying to carry too much weight, and put it down. It's up to us to break the chain and the ancestral pattern of carrying the weight of the world. So it's up to us to identify it, have awareness of it, and then decide, is that something I want to continue? And then empower ourselves by knowing it is a choice. It's not easy to face that, but it is a choice. What I'm always showing up to help you all do is we identify that our problems are in external people and situations and dynamics and jobs and validation. We have like all these ideas of what it's supposed to look like to be loved or to be love. And if we can really just like make peace with letting that go and calling our power back, calling the soul fragments back, identifying when we're exhibiting patterns of disempowerment, calling that power back. We don't get what we desire, we get what we are, is really important to highlight here. We definitely don't get what we want, we get what we are. So whatever you're getting in your life that isn't what you want, it's like, have that moment of like, I've created that shaping. Therefore, I can create new shaping. I can have a new perspective on this. I can soften around it. Because a lot of the times the guides are guiding us to the things that we're gripping. Like we're holding really tight. I think it's 111. 111 on 1 and 55. When we're having all this numerology stuff and all this alignment stuff and planets are doing this and and the sun's like geomagnetic storms, geomagnetic storms, geomagnetic storms. CME, 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 geomagnetic storms, CME, CME. When it's doing that, when the sun's like had a couple too many to drink, we have to be like, okay, take a moment to observe. Take a moment to like understand there's a lot of energetics going on. It's not just me. More to it. It's layered. I was doing dishes yesterday morning and I felt my crown chakra expand. I felt taller than I am. Wow, Julie. Oh, that's so beautiful. What a lovely energy. And it feels like that was like you expanding into what I got an image of was like a little tiny, I got images of this in session this morning. These like little tiny like veils we put over ourselves. And then when they're gone, it's like, it's such expansion. It's such, you feel taller. You feel like it's expanded. You feel lighter. And just so you know, like whether you're at an event where it's like intending that, or you're just sitting around in your house or walking around anywhere and you feel those energies, like know that that's a connection point. That's like you connecting with source very directly and without the veils of illusion. So it's probably not going to be easy to explain these energetic shifts that we're feeling. It'll be sensational. The magnetic pole shift is reducing the Earth's magnetic field. We are getting overloaded. Yes, and Gaia knows what she's doing. Just a little message of empowerment from Mama Gaia. Feeling it heavy. So what they're showing me is when you feel the heaviness, like see almost like they're showing me like a water filter. Like they're showing me, remember, like give yourself thanks for being able to release that heaviness. Because the heaviness got compounded over time. So basically when you feel that like heaviness, remind yourself, like rewire, repattern your energetic field and your awareness to know I'm releasing this heaviness. I'm transmuting density. I'm trusting my body. I'm trusting the universe. I'm trusting source. I'm trusting this alignment. I'm trusting that if I feel heavy right now, that's leading me to say, it's time to have more downtime. My body wants more of my energy. My body wants rest. My body wants... And they're showing me for a lot of you it has to do with salt baths. So a lot of the times, like this dense, heavy feeling you're feeling can be easily released in an Epsom salt bath. Ooh, I want one. Now I really want to take an Epsom salt bath. And I will later. But what Mama Gaia is transmitting to me is when you feel that way, like let your weight go to her. And you don't have to conceptualize her as a her. We're all divine beings. We all have masculine and feminine energy. But she's just kind of, I sense her as a feminine energy, Mama Gaia, and she's sort of transmitting to me to release this to me. That I am here to assist you. I am here to recycle this, to repurpose this, to transmute this and alchemize this. Rest needed. Well, then it's your cue, Auden, to honor your body's wishes to take that salt bath. Give yourself the permission to practice some self-care. Salt baths and self-care practices are definitely not all for women. I don't know why they're saying that, but it's the truth. It's for everyone. We all should have a self-care practice. Yeah. You felt the portal for 3 days now? Yeah, that's the window. So they're showing, my guides are kind of showing me like, we have this 3 days. It's really similar with the full moons and the new moons, but there's this kind of 3 days of prep, especially for those that are really energetically attuned. And then we'll feel these energies kind of subsiding or becoming less intense over the next 3 days, but they'll still be with us. That's what they're showing me. So like this portal is really important. This is like, I'm just connecting some dots here. Wow. So the last month and a half, my guides have been pretty much prepping all of my clients and everyone in my memberships and just everywhere, preparing everybody for new guides, like these very subtle guides that we won't even be able to put words around, or we'll be like, it's almost like these beings that are from higher reaches or higher densities, higher dimensions that are now able to come, and like that window is very much open right now. So they're showing me that I'm just sharing that because it's confirmation for some of you. It's hard to lean into rest without feeling guilty. So they show me guilt as a multidimensional healer. So wherever you're feeling guilt, it's important that you go within yourself and multidimensionally heal that space. In other words, you're going to be healing guilt that in your mind, you're sensing it as relational dynamics in this life, but it will be far more than that. So because we're doing timeline convergence, this is going to bring about Atlantean timeline connections, Lemurian timeline connections, the star systems that we're aligned with right now and every day moving forward, that we have multidimensional healing to do, it'll occur. So we'll sense it as like our 3D reality and what's showing up in our 3D reality, but it's more. It's multidimensional. So if guilt is showing up, it's time to start questioning it. Why? Till you can't answer that why anymore. Why do I feel this way? Because my mom said this. Why do I feel this way? Oh, well, why did you feel that way when your mom said that? Well, because I believed my mom to be an angel on earth. And so when she told me this, it shaped me. And well, why do you feel that you need to hold on to it? And why? Until you realize this is something that you're unraveling and repatterning. So they're showing me like Dr. Joe Dispenza as well they're saying a pro at this. They're saying he's an expert at this, and they're also calling it psychic surgery. But basically, we're allowing whatever senses and whatever's going on in our life to be an indicator to deeper know ourselves. Nothing more, nothing less. And then guilt, too, typically sits in the energetic field around there could be some stuff in the root, predominantly the sacral chakra. It could also leak up into things like the heart and the solar plexus if it's starting to affect the way you connect with others. Ooh, they got deep on that one. And they're also showing like to tap your lower back every day, because they're showing me that's where it sits in the body. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm a soul. I'll just throw in, this is for entertainment purposes only. Am I covered, legal crew? Okay. They just put through a lot of energy through this field. So go ahead and sense if you felt any energetic shifts. Tapping. Yes, please let this be a reminder to tap. 3, 4. So we got mastery and balance. Okay. Mastery is the Queen of Diamonds. So they're showing me like Sophia Christ energy. They're showing me that in the old paradigm, we understood mastery as masculine. And in the new paradigm, we understand that mastery is the perfect union of masculine and feminine. Oh, wow. I like that. So Queen of Diamonds, they showed me, this is a deck of cards that I channeled words onto. And they showed me it had like significance for humanity at this time. My spiritual guidance team, my higher self, I don't know, whatever you want to call this, the channels I get coming through source to my field. But diamonds represent spiritual messages and like unity consciousness. So in unity consciousness, at least from a feminine perspective, if we're to look at this from, like, they're showing me like this very new energy to it. It's like a mother. It's like mother goddess. It's hard to explain, but it's very powerful. And it's definitely challenging my perspective of what feminine is. And that's what this being is showing me. So it's mastery for new paradigm is definitely going to be embodying a balance of masculine and feminine with ease. And they're showing me like it's going to be the shredder of anything in between your two hemispheres, or the shredder of anything in between your third eye and your heart to create mind-heart coherence. They're showing me like anything like that. Once you achieve mastery in your embodiment, it just goes away. It's like kind of natural. It's like a decalcification. What's the difference between mastery and specialization? They're similar. No, they're not. Let me channel a message on that because I don't really know what to say on that one. They're showing me that specialization is like a little bit more areas of your life that you've mastered. So mastery is more of like your overall embodiment, not so much just that you've mastered one specialty of your embodiment. So part of our spiritual expansion and evolution is sensing all of these different ways we embody and all of these different qualities we embody. And how, for those of you that are familiar with the gene keys, this has been a message that's been coming through one-to-one sessions, which I'll share here. Feels important. And then we'll go to balance. Let me see if I can make this a little bit better. Whatever. Dancing around Jesse is mastery and balance. All right. Sorry about that. Oh, sorry. I'm getting in here, folks. Oops. Oh. Whatever. It's not showing very well, so I'm just going to leave it there. There's got to be a reason why I did that, though. Okay. I'm just seeing a lot of guides moving through a lot of fields. I'm just going to let it happen and just make myself tamed with not saying words. The gene keys. So they're bringing me back. They just did some energetic work through the fields, and then they're bringing me back. So the gene keys. If you haven't looked into the gene keys yet, it's really time for you to explore this really powerful tool. It's nothing to worship or make as something outside of you, but it can be a very connective fabric for you on this earth plane. And what they've been showing my clients is that you can look up the gene keys, GeneKeys by Richard Rudd. The original is by Lao Tzu, and it's the I Ching. Okay, get this channel, Bree. You can do it. Get this channel, Bree. So when you look up your hologenic profile for the gene keys, that's going to show you kind of a similar map as to what you would see through your natal chart, your astrological natal chart. The blueprint of you, the stamp you kind of came into the planet with. Sometimes this is represented through karma and ancestry, and there's lots of different ways to conceptualize of this. But what my guides have been guiding people and me and my communities to do is look outside your own hologenic profile. So basically look at those gene keys of these 64 gene keys of your DNA that you're going to activate intentionally. So you didn't necessarily come in having this like activated. You didn't come in necessarily having this available, but because we're expanding and we're evolving and we're ascending, when we kind of are intentional and love-filled and with the intention of service and with the intention of activating our spiritual gifts and with the intention of activating the ability we have to spread love to this world and carry through our purpose and feel good here, they showed me that you can extend in the gene keys and really go in the way that the thing that they plugged this morning, which I thought was really interesting, and I did not write it down, so I'm glad it's coming back through right now. But they shared like flip through the gene keys. I wish I had my copy of my book here, but I don't. And whatever gene key like you feel no resonance with is what they said. So like you basically like look at the shadow, the gift, and the city. That's how the gene keys are broken down. But basically like whatever one you're like, I don't even get that. That doesn't even make sense to me. Like that shadow doesn't make sense to me. That gift doesn't make sense to me. That city, never felt that on planet Earth. Don't even know what that's about. Grace? What the heck is that? I have grace. I have the 22nd gene key, just a little insider tip, like 3 times in a row, like in a line, which is like very weird and rare. But grace is something I can embody, okay? But for someone that maybe came in with other areas that balance that, can still activate that 20-second gene key of grace, even if you don't feel like you have any connection to it and it's not even relevant. Those really powerful codes they're transmitting today. And it feels like what they want to put through me a lot is like shortcuts. And they say like, it's not like a cheat code, but it kind of is. It's like a quick, how do I explain what they do with this sometimes? They show me like a bunny, like a little bunny hop, like on a timeline. Like they want to skip you forward. Like they don't want you to have 6 tower moments to get to where you could be right now through a conscious shift. Where do I learn all this? What you're learning is you. What you're learning is your higher self. What you're sensing is your higher self. And you can look into it by looking into yourself every single day and greeting whatever is there. Maybe there's anger there. Okay, you're going to be with it. You're going to let it be. You're going to let it teach you. Let the emotions teach you. Be indicators to you from your soul. They're energy and motion. That's like new paradigm, old paradigm again. They're using this kind of tsunami like throughout the thing, but the whatever this is, the transmission. Old things we were taught and like old beliefs we might have held told us like we weren't allowed to feel our emotions. We weren't allowed to want our dreams. So we're rewiring that. We're giving love to all those parts of ourselves. And I would say that how I learned to be really good in what I'm kind of like laying down here is through my energy healing certifications. And I'm also trained as an EME integration coach, which is energy, mind, and emotions integration coach. So I'm helping you bring all the parts of you back home and heal them. I'm helping you realize it's not out there. It's in here. And I'm also helping you tune back into your quantum heart, where there's literally every option available. Every avenue is available. In the mind, there's like 2 options available, and you like have to make one choice or that choice. And it's like they're showing me like the light side and the dark side, and it's like good or bad, and it's like it's very like this or that, this or that. But the heart is quantum. How to start shadow work is just the next time an emotion comes up, you see how you're feeling in the body, where it is in the body, you breathe through it. Sometimes it'll be journaling. It's always putting you back in the driver's seat of your life, taking your power back, calling your energy back. Had first anxiety attack this week and jumped to my meditation chair, sat with it, then asked Mama Gaia. Thank you, Pinky Dragonfly. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and taxed and anxious and like your nervous system is not functioning optimally, it is definitely time to lean into Mama Gaia. We can't do any of this stuff out here in the higher expansions and stay safe if our nervous system is not grounded. And Mama Gaia is here to hold us in that. She's here to assist us in that. She really is truly here to be like a mother energy to us, to hold us. She loves us so much. And she's also going through her own birthing pains, which we may sometimes feel. She absolutely brought you back to your balanced self. Yeah. And that's what we're doing in these healings, is we're going back to our nature. What we really are. What's already automatic and given and provided and abundant. Our health, abundant. It's meant to be abundant. We're meant to feel good here in the body and in the mind and in the soul. And we can, if we keep intending it, keep returning to it, keep letting go of what we expect it to be, letting it be what it is, getting really comfortable in the is, comfortable with what is. It's not about what it will be, it's about what it is. Can you be comfortable with what is? Can you call it back into wholeness? Stop resisting it. Stop frictioning against it. That's just going to make the whole situation feel really yucky. I'm going to pull like 2 more cards and then close this down. I'll probably upload this to my YouTube and my energy healing membership. It was just the 5/5 portal, and so much is coming through, like so much. So let's just really intend right now together. I welcome you, Mama Gaia, to ground me. I welcome you, Mama Gaia, to hold me. I welcome you, Mama Gaia, to ease my nervous system, my parasympathetic nervous system. I welcome you, Mama Gaia, to balance my feminine, my masculine. I welcome you, Mama Gaia, to balance my spine, my muscles, my tissue, my body, my organs. I welcome you to hold me and take care of me, providing me everything I need. I trust you to have what I need and to nurture me and help me feel whole and ground me and anchor me and help me feel safe here. I trust you to do this. I relinquish my mind's need to control this by surrendering to you, Mama Gaia, and to Source, and to my higher self-consciousness that's always abundant and always present, and is a thought away, a breath away, a step on the grass away, a gaze at the sunset away, an intention away, a one-word intention away. And she's sharing, if you don't have an intention, just keep going back to love again and again and again. It's what you already are. Might as well just restitch it to your truth. Ooh, 5/5. So we're going to get 2 cards and then we'll close it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So take a deep breath throughout your whole system. Call on your pillar of light and say, I open to you. I allow you to flow. I allow my higher self to predominate this space. I allow my Holy Spirit, my Source self, to predominate this space. I remember I'm love. I remember. Soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. So just scan. What are you letting go of and what are you allowing to anchor through? Nature moves with flow. The flowers aren't yelling at the bees. The bees are attracted. It's symbiotic, and so is your soul. And, oh my gosh, how perfect is this? Fall into my arms. Surrender, holding the opposites and extremes of life. So when you're feeling the extreme shifts, all the light codes, which sometimes can feel like heaviness, if we're releasing that heaviness, fall into Mama Gaia's arms. You don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Release it. Release it and walk tall, aligned, free, empowered, connected. fall into her arms, and then wake up and step forth into your life feeling lighter, feeling trusting that everywhere you walk about this planet, you're free, you're connected. She's always got you. She's always holding you, even when you don't pay attention or don't know or don't thank her. She's always there. Source is the same way. Even when we forget of our connection, even when we don't pay attention to it, we completely neglect it, we deny it, it doesn't matter, it's always there. This is unconditional love. This is the love that you can test it any type of way you want to, it's still going to be there. And that's why we guide you within. Because everything you're looking for is within. So you might think the stillness and the rest isn't helpful or useful. That is a lie you've learned to tell yourself. If you need the rest, take the rest. Fall into her arms. When you get back at the things, you'll have the energy to get back at the things. Yeah, the remembrance card. I remember. Thank you, Natalia. We're always remembering. So these light codes are remembrance codes. When we're discovering these ancient artifacts in ancient places on the planet, and we're rediscovering what history really is, some of these memories are going to be amazing and incredible, and some of these memories are going to be tough. I'm not going to be the all love and light person to say awakening and ascension is easy breezy and it's one day you don't have to do shadow work anymore. One day it just that happens. I'm not going to be the one that shows up in your reality and say that to you. I'm going to be real. Even when New Earth is fully fledged on this planet, we're still going to have emotions. We want it this way, believe it or not. It is not very fun to have no range of emotions. It's very flat and dull. I have been in love with spirit since the first day I was awakened, heart still glowing 1 year. Wow. Thank you, Mike. Wow. Spirit's ever present. And when we can just get unlimited, say, okay, open up this tab, 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 open up, I don't know what they're doing. They're doing something. Open up this tab, open up, open it up, open it up, open it up. And they're actually being really, really ridiculous and saying that, remember that you can just go to your chakras and say something as simple as open, clear, rebalance, recharge, and it'll do it. Words are spells. What we say really does matter very much. We're like sending out these like geometric, like they're spells. Words are spells. So use that for your service on planet Earth and your self-love. And please do tell yourself that you love yourself every single day, even if you feel like it's a lie. Because some of you, like, that's what they're showing me in this transmission. We rewired, I love myself. Because they're kind of showing me, like, that was, like, a belief system that started to, like a soul fragment that was, like, floating down a lazy river. And then we brought it back in and, like, oh, I do love myself. Okay. Sorry about that. I forgot you were floating down there and bringing it back in. So this will be on my YouTube, on my energy healing membership. Let's take one deep breath together to close this in love. We're also calling on the archangels and our higher self consciousness to do any kind of remedying or harmonizing necessary, just throughout all time and space, all dimensions, just anchoring our pillars of light with love and reverence for this gift of life and wholeness in our being, and just giving thanks for all the spirit. Many of your spirit guides showed up in this. Many. It was like so many absolutely wonderful beings, which all of you are. Let's take one deep breath together. Closing this in love. Happy 5-5 portal. Namaste.